Okay, welcome to First Flight. My name is Jeremy. I'm not giving my last name. Sorry, we're not on that level yet. And here's my fun, happy friend right here. Introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Max. So we're with First Flight and we're ready to dive into our first ever episode.
Yeah. To be fair, we have literally no idea
We're
what
not
we're
putting that
doing. We're kind of winging it, but you know what? We're here. We're happy. So we're just gonna discuss pop culture and wow, the internet here it's doing great. We're at your local library, and we really are winging it. Okay, so we're just gonna look at pop culture news
Yes.
and just discuss it. So yeah, we're gonna try to do it from a non-biased angle, but we're not like gonna argue or anything about how Zack Snyder's Justice League is one of the greatest superhero movies.
Okay, we're getting off track.
I'm just searched pop culture.
Let's start with sports.
Okay.
Okay, so we are filming on Monday, June 30th. So when you guys hear this, it might be later and you're like, okay, yeah, we knew this. But for today, we had breaking news that the Steelers have traded Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith for Minka Fitzpatrick. He's returning back to Miami,
Yeah.
and let me get what they got.
Okay, before I give my response, I'm just gonna stop it for a second.
The Dolphins send Ramsey and Smith to Steelers for Fitzpatrick in trade. I basically plagiarized a bunch of that from ESPN, but it's not in writing, so we're cool. So, yeah, I mean, I know that I talked to Mom about it today, and she said that Minka is injured a lot. So Minka's a good player, and he did a good job for the Steelers. It's just that he was injured a lot. So, I mean, we'll see how the Dolphins do with him. I know we got two guys for him. I'm not completely sure how they are, and I probably should know more about this. I got more into football in like the last few years, but I'm nowhere close to into football as my friend here is. So if he wants to talk about anything, he can.
So when I saw it, I was actually very shocked to see that the Steelers would let go of Minka Fitzpatrick, who is definitely a top 5 safety in the league, in my opinion, for a guy. They trade him for Jalen Ramsey, who's 2 or 3 years older than Minka Fitzpatrick and is most likely probably on the decline of his career. So to me, I give much praise to the Dolphins organization. To get Minka back is just such a game changer to me in that secondary now, because they've needed a lot of help in that area. So now they finally got their guy.
Obviously, I know we didn't really talk about the sports that much. If we want to switch to pop culture,
Well, no, we got a lot of sports talk left. NBA free agency is happening, everything. So just before we actually started filming this, D'Angelo Russell has signed a 2-year, $13 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks, so that might help them next year, now with Cooper Flag and when Kyrie gets back from his torn ACL.
Yeah, that's so. We have the sources. Grizzlies to extend Jaren Jackson Jr. on $240 million deal. So the Memphis Grizzlies and All-Star Jaren Jackson Jr. are expected to agree to a 5-year, $240 million maximum renegotiation and extension. So I don't really know. I don't follow the NBA that much. I don't. You do
Follow
some more. So is Jaren Jackson Jr. like is he good?
Yes,
I'm kinda
he's
going
a
with
good player, good defensive player, and that's a really good keeping by the Grizzlies, just to keep him on the squad, because, as everyone knows, they need it.
I also have a thing that says teams mull possible trade offers for Steelers TJ Watt. Okay, so this is something that actually worries me a little bit, because TJ Watt is a very, very good player, one of our best.
Yes, he is the best player.
Yeah, that's really sad. And I know that TJ Watt has not hasn't he skipped camps?
Don't
Stuff
know.
like that. Yeah.
But
Adam Schefter. Okay.
TJ Watt, if you guys trade him, that would be a big
really
blow to your defense.
Bad decision.
Because you, as we talked about earlier, you already traded Minka today. But if you get rid of TJ Watt, I don't know really how you're gonna be able to be competitive in, especially that AFC North with the Ravens and the Bengals with Joe Burrow. That division is stacked. No one cares about the Browns. They're terrible. So but without TJ Watt, then it's pretty bad.
Kenny Pickett is the third.
Yeah, but he's pretty bad. But with TJ Watt, I'm a Patriots fan, so I hope that the Patriots could strike up a deal if necessary. But I don't really know if the Steelers would be willing to trade with the Patriots. But
Yeah.
I would be very happy.
I saw something. Maybe I'm incorrect, but I'd have to get a fact check on it. But I saw something that said that the Steelers' defensive line is like literally the best. I know, like it's either one of the top.
Very.
Yeah. So I know it's one of those things where I was mixed on the back when George Pickens got sold to the what team did he get given to?
He went to the
The
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Very happy with that. But my thing about George Pickens was that him and DK could have been like a dual force. It could have been that one of them gets doubled and the other one is open, or both of them get covered, obviously, by people, and one of the either of them are good options. So it could have been a really good option there. But I guess Steelers just didn't really see a lot of them. I know that for some reason the Steelers get head cases. I really don't know why. I mean, receivers tend to be, because I mean they do some of the heavy lifting. Honestly, I'd say that quarterbacks and receivers both. Well, everybody plays their part, but it's one of those things where Pickens was kind of a lot to handle, honestly, when it came to that. And I don't really know. Tomlin's not really done good with head cases, honestly.
Well,
Antonio Brown, Chase
but
Claypool.
you got out of them what you needed, and then you guys shipped them off at the right point. But if you look at Antonio Brown, he played very well, and then when you shipped him off to the Raiders, he didn't even play a single snap for them, and then you see where he is now. Same with Chase Claypool.
Yeah.
He looked like he was going to be one of the best receivers in the NFL, but then he was a head case.
Yeah.
And you guys traded him, got a second-round pick, I believe, from the Bears, and look where he is now. I don't even know if he's in the NFL. He might be on a roster as like the bottom guy who's going to get cut in a week, but
Antonio
that's
Brown
what.
is in like a lot of trouble right now, so I know that. But yeah, Antonio Brown, I remember him when he was on the Bucks, when he like took his shirt off and like ran around the place because he was unhappy and stuff like that. I will credit some of that to Vontaze Perfect, but I'm not going to credit all of it. I mean, I know that he got CTE from it, but it was he should control himself better.
So if we move our way to the NBA again, we have seen that yesterday, I believe, Sunday, that LeBron James opted into his player option for $52.6 million. So he will be returning to the Lakers, but it sounds like they could be, if the Lakers don't take this seriously and don't get any help in the offseason, which is crazy to see them ask for help when they got Luka Doncic, but they don't have any big men. You need big men to succeed. You got all the guards, but you don't have any big men, so you're not going to stop anyone. But there has been reports that if he's not happy, he could be traded. And one team right now that is interested, that people are talking about, is that the Mavs are interested in trading for LeBron. So if you just think of that, you would have Cooper Flagg, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and Kyrie Irving when he becomes healthy again on the same court. That team would be the favorites in my eyes.
Who would they trade for together?
They would give up Klay Thompson. I saw that. You got Derek Lively you could give up. So you got picks. They might have picks, but that's what I've been hearing.
You have to give up a lot for LeBron.
But you could give picks up and some players. So
Yeah.
there is some chances
I
that
think LeBron's still doing good, right? Like he's still pretty good at basketball.
very good player, had another good season. He's like 40-something years old. We've never seen
Still
on a basketball court someone at this age be so good at what they do.
Yeah, I think that happened. I think that right now my thing is, yes, that would actually be a great option. So he could either, I think he actually has two pretty good options. One of them is slightly better. I'd say the one of him going to the Mavericks, and that is really just depends on how much the Mavericks are able to are willing to sacrifice for him. But if he stays with the Lakers, he obviously will have Luka Doncic, and I know that's just one player, but him and Luka were like a dynamic duo when it
They're
came.
good.
Yeah, like
Hey,
they
won
did
50
very
games last year.
Yeah,
They just couldn't get it done against the T-Wolves in the playoffs when it all counted. But hey, that's just what happens. So
yeah, but I'd say that him and LeBron and Luka was like a match made in heaven, honestly.
we just had breaking news.
Uh-huh.
The San Antonio Spurs have signed Luke Cornett to a 4-year, $41 million deal.
Mm-hmm.
He played for my Celtics. He was very good role player. Now the Spurs get another big man for their team, which I think that could help. 4 years, $41 million. So just saying that. Breaking news at the time of recording.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
We also have the Rockets have landed Finney Smith on a $53 million deal. And we also have free agent Bruce Brown has agreed to a 1-year deal with the Denver Nuggets. He won a title with the Nuggets in 2023, but he was on the Raptors and the Pelicans last year. So the Nuggets receive another familiar face, but in the wake of that, they also traded Michael Porter Jr. and an unprotected 2032 first-round pick to the Brooklyn Nets for Cameron Johnson. The thing about the NBA to me is teams that are allowed to trade first-round picks from that far away, like 2032, that's 7 years down the road.
That's kind of crazy.
That's what is that, a middle schooler?
Yeah,
Is that a middle schooler
That's kind of weird.
getting drafted? You know how weird that is?
Yeah, that's kind of strange. When it comes to that, I guess it will add up in 2032, but that's a long ways away. That's 7 years away. Yeah, 7 years. Like that's crazy.
It could work out. Like Cam Johnson's just a really, really good player. And they're trading Michael Porter Jr., which everyone knows for him, he doesn't really like passing. He's more like a shooting guy, which is fine. But think of that. It's unprotected 2032 first-round pick, so no one knows what the Nuggets are going to be like in 7 years. They could be terrible and have the number 1 pick, and the Nets get that pick, and they could get the next, might I say, if there is a next Cooper Flag, or Zion, even though Zion, I know, but out of college was hyped up, so it could go well.
I think Jokic should definitely keep going this direction. Obviously, Jokic is a very good basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I actually also wanted to talk about your Celtics a little bit.
Okay.
So, obviously, Jason Tatum is going to be out.
Yep.
Right? That's really sad because I feel like when I look at the Celtics, Jason Tatum is the guy, honestly. And I know it's one of those things where, what's his name? Jaylen Brown has supposedly stepped up as a leader sometimes and stuff like that. I know you're not really a big fan of Jaylen Brown's, but
I don't mind him, but I would trade him.
Who do you
if I had
think
to.
is going to step up?
Next year, because without Tatum, we really, really need, honestly, I think it's going to have to be Jaylen Brown. He's the leader, second leader behind Tatum, obviously, but without him, we really need him. And now with Kristaps Porzingis and Jrue Holiday both traded, now we have some things. But hey, I believe this year is basically just get to the playoffs, and that's fine. We're not going for a championship this year. I'm saying 2027, we're going to be right back in the thick of it, getting to the finals and raising that Larry O'Brien trophy again. So, and raising banner 19. So that's what I think.
Tatum's
personally.
really good.
Tatum's very good. I
I
saw
respect him.
yesterday or something, he posted him already in the weight room or training already after 2 months
That's good.
after surgery. So, hey, anything can happen.
That's very good.
Or like a month after surgery, my bad, not two.
Yeah. So, anyways, also we want to talk. I want to the MLB a little bit.
Okay.
So, I'm looking at this. I know at least for my Royals, and I know my parents are probably at home like, Jeremy barely watches. But they've kind of been a little erratic recently. They've been like some wins, some losses. I know that obviously right now they have Bobby Witt Jr. They got Kai Nguyen recently, Jonathan India, all that kind of stuff. I know MJ Melendez is basically non-existent right now, which kind of stinks. I think he's working, but it's just not doing great. So I'm just gonna look. I know that apparently there's a chance that Witt Jr. can actually go to the All-Star game.
Okay.
So honestly, if that happens, that's really great. I'm just gonna look at standings right now. For the East, the Yankees are at the top. So are the Yankees like doing good this year? I don't know. Wait, no, you're an Orioles fan. I was gonna ask. Orioles, unfortunately, are at the bottom in the East.
So low, but hey, there's always, it's not even halfway there. I still believe that there is chances that we still make the playoffs.
Yeah, isn't Holiday playing right now? Because I know you've talked about Jackson Holiday.
Yes, he
before.
has 10 home runs, I believe, right now.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, he's doing good. I know. What's his name? There's a player that you like. I forget what his name is.
Gunnar Henderson,
No.
Ali Rutschman.
Yeah.
Ali Rutschman, he is injured right now. He's not had a great year so far. So, yeah, hopefully that we just get back on top. So, do you want to move on to movie news?
Yeah, sure. We're going to be going and seeing Fantastic Four. Or
Yay.
The Fantastic Four. First steps. So, can you just give maybe just like your opinions, honestly, just on how this movie could do, and just obviously just good things that could happen, or possibly bad things that could happen with this movie? Because I know that obviously it's going for a very retro futuristic vibe. It's trying to be. I think one of the things that I like about it, looking at it, is that it's its own thing, and that's really cool. Obviously, it's in another universe. But what's your opinion?
For me, I cannot wait for this movie. I've been waiting forever for this. I love the retro futuristic 60s vibe. It's just something we've never seen out of an MCU movie, let alone a superhero movie from this time point. It just looks phenomenal. I love that Galactus is the bad guy, and I love that he's actually a comic book Galactus, not like
the Cloud.
the Cloud.
The Cloud. I remember the pitch meeting. That's hilarious.
But I cannot wait for this movie, and it looks like fans can't wait either, because the box office estimates for the first opening weekend is around $125 million to $155 million. That means that it could potentially surpass the opening weekend of Spider-Man Homecoming. It's just, this movie is great. I know Marvel has had some flops in the recent years, and it really hurts me to see that Thunderbolts still underperformed at the box office,
really
even
sad.
as a great MCU movie. It's one of my favorites. I love just how grounded that movie was.
Yeah.
And The Void was great. All those scenes. It was a very good, emotional movie that you could resonate with as fans. It was just a very, very good movie.
Yeah, I think that the good thing about Thunderbolts, and I don't know, you might totally hate this opinion. It's like if Marvel tried to make a DC movie, very grounded.
They were like it's Marvel Suicide Squad.
Yeah, it's like Marvel Suicide Squad, except it actually got a better Rotten Tomatoes score. Except its Rotten Tomatoes score was not in the 20s. The Suicide Squad did that bad. But, and that's Warner Bros. Fault. But, basically, the thing about this was that it felt like they tried to do Cavill Superman almost, where it's like, wait, if I'm a god, why do I need to use these powers. And obviously, Cavill Superman wasn't really like that, but it's really like they tried to make like a Superman-like character where he's all powerful, but he has these powers, and he's like, well, why am I supposed to listen to you? And I think that that's really cool that they were able to do that with it. And I think the other thing about Thunderbolts was that the grounded feel was very good. It's kind of like, I know early Marvel movies were very grounded. It kind of felt like its own thing, which was also nice, somewhat. And I know Jake Schreier is going to be doing X-Men stuff, apparently. And I think that if they add that vibe to it, where it's very grounded, kind of serious, but still has that humor style to it, then they could really capture the classic X-Men style.
I can't,
honestly.
with the announcement
Claremont
that
comics.
Jake Schreier was directing X-Men, just make me so much more excited for that film.
Yeah.
Just because I love his work on Thunderbolts. I haven't seen any other of his projects, but people love his Netflix series Beef. I've never seen it, but that movie showed me that Jake Schreier could be the next great director for the MCU going forward, and hopefully his X-Men debut will be so good. I hope it's worth the wait, and hopefully 2028. So, yeah.
I'm trying to think.
So, also, let's dive into Superman.
Oh boy.
So, we've got a bunch of Snyder fans that are evil and just want to see this movie fail for no apparent reason, even though it's looking to be a comic book accurate Superman instead of Man of Steel, the dark
Man of Steel
vibes.
Okay, here's the thing about Man of Steel. It's basically like Warner Bros. Wanted them to make like a Batman Begins for Superman. And obviously, it had its moments where it was very good, but it also had its moments where it was kind of boring, honestly. And that's kind of my thing about Man of Steel. Obviously, this was a lot more of a dark and brooding Superman. And this new Superman, the one thing I really like about this new Superman is that, like, people love him. Like that's it. Like it shows like regular towns, like city folk. I guess I don't know. That sounds really old and like medieval, but basically, like, it shows Superman like gets hit into the ground, and it shows like a guy helping him up. It's like people like Superman in this movie. And I know that obviously I also really like the tone of Man of Steel, where it was basically like what would happen in real life if Superman came to Earth. And I think that the climax of the movie, where they're destroying the city and stuff like that, I know it's one of those things where people are like, oh, well, was casualty. It's like, yeah, well, that's what it would actually look like. But this new Superman, honestly, I'm actually really excited to see it. I think we'll see what happens. Obviously, I know I'm one of the Snyder fans that really wish that Snyderverse would have panned out, and it would have been really cool to see Nightmare Batman. Obviously, if you don't know, Batman would have died. So yeah, either Superman would have killed him or Batman would have died trying to do something. Superman, I don't think Superman would have died. Wonder Woman would have died. Aquaman would have died. Yeah, there's an entire thing. I think the movies would have gotten very weird, but at least it would have been cool to see some closure. And I think the Snyder Cut was the closest thing we got to closure. So what do you think about this new Superman movie?
So I'm not a very big DC fan, but I will definitely see this movie. To me, the CGI looks very good, and I like the whole. I actually don't mind David Gordon Sweat as Superman. I also really like the casting. I do like the casting of Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor. He looks okay. This is gonna get.
He's better than
Here's where I don't say that. I really like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor.
I'll give Jesse.
I love his character in that movies, but it's just
Holt is a lot more.
Holt has the. He's him. Just look at the trailer when the robots go into the Fortress of Solitude, right? Is that what it's called?
The Fortress, yeah, that's where he is.
He goes in there, and the robots are with him, and he goes and starts fighting, and Lex Luthor literally just takes off his glasses, and you see a blade go right past his face and hit a robot.
Oh, yeah, I saw
he just doesn't even flinch. And did you see the new clip that they posted of he actually takes Crypto?
Oh boy.
And Superman comes into his office. He's like, hey, where's the dog? He's like, what dog? Where's the dog? He's like, stupid, ugly dog. He's like, what? He's just a rage baiter, and I think it's going to be very good. I think this
Skin can add
to me,
humor.
though, as a way bigger Marvel fan than DC fan. I really hope that Fantastic Four is better than Superman, and I'm way more pumped for Fantastic Four than I am for Superman. But
getting back on, I was gonna say getting back on Fantastic Four. Sorry, the thing about Fantastic Four is that it's coming off of the heels of not only like flops of Marvel movies and stuff like that. Other than Thunderbolts was a flop, but people actually liked it.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about Fantastic Four is that it's kind of like a cursed movie franchise.
That's true.
I would say that the Tim Story ones from the 2000s, they were good, but they weren't. Like it had like the 2000s superhero
campy
curse, like 2000 superhero movies. Some of them were very good. Obviously, like Nolan made his some of it two of his Batman movies in that era, and the Spider-Man movies, the X-Men movies, except for Last Stand. Last Stand was terrible. Have you ever seen Last Stand?
Nope.
It was, oh boy, like it had its moments where it was okay, but at the end I was just kind of like, oh, it wasn't that good. Like some of them lost their powers, but like the thing didn't. It wears off. Like it was gifted, or the gift or something like that, where it's like they like take a serum to take their powers away. And I'm getting off topic, but it was also the Dark Phoenix thing, which apparently Dark Phoenix needs like multiple movies to actually pan out, because like she gets the Phoenix, or she dies, she gets the Phoenix, and then she gets the Dark Phoenix or something like that, where she like becomes bad or something. I don't know. I got all this from the 90s animated series, which apparently was accurate. But for Fantastic Four, then obviously in the 2010s they tried to revive it by having Josh Trank come on and do basically Batman Begins, but with Fantastic Four. And it's really funny that 20th Century Fox, I'm just going to knock 20th Century Fox here a little bit and say, you got what you wanted, and you still tore it to pieces. Like that's the thing. And obviously I know I'm trying to be very unbiased here, but basically looking at this, they really messed up when it came to this, because, hey, we want to make a Batman Begins, but it's Fantastic Four. But when he gives it to you, you hate it. Like that's really concerning. And I know obviously Warner Bros. It kind of felt the same way with Warner Bros. Warner Bros. Mishandles DC every time, and it feels like at least they mishandled the cinematic universe of the DC extended universe, which is the most disjointed thing. But I don't know. Like I feel like James Gunn has a lot of control, so we'll see how that goes. I really like it that he has control. My worry is that it'll be like a Snyder thing, where it's basically like if Jon Favreau had control over the entire thing, casted the entire Avengers, and possibly directed the entire Avengers stuff. That's not a good idea. I think Kevin Feige, back in the day, it really felt like Kevin Feige was kind of just the behind-the-scenes guy. Now it feels like Kevin Feige has a lot more control, and maybe that's just me. But yeah, we'll see what happens with Fantastic Four. I think that the fact that they're trying to go toward the comics is good. Honestly, I think that that's good to be like the source material. I see my friend here is looking at Spider-Man Brand New Day. I want to talk about that one.
Yes. So, if you have seen, everyone knows that big bombshell that they dropped, that John Bernthal's Punisher is going to be
that's good.
in Spider-Man Brand New Day, which definitely means we're getting a grounded story. Finally, as a Spider-Man fan, to see this in the MCU is just going to be beautiful. And if you have seen the leaks they have announced who I'm pretty sure is the cinematographer or the director of photography or something like that. He got announced, and they looked on I'm pretty sure it's his Pinterest board. Mm-hmm. He made concept art of Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. But this was before, and then, so right when he got announced, they looked at his Pinterest board, and he had made concept art for something he was working on with Spider-Man. He had Savage Hulk was back.
Oh,
and
okay.
It showed him fighting Spider-Man. So they were fighting. And also, oh my gosh, if you look at the things he was making, just like the scenery and stuff, it's rainy, it's dark. Some of the pictures were insane, just like they're all dark. This movie to me seems like we're back as Spider-Man fans. I know we all love the movies in the Tom Holland movies, they're very good, but everyone that has been asking for is definitely more grounded instead of like everyone loved No Way Home at the beginning of it with when the three Spider-Man, when you
Yeah.
had three Spider-Men.
You love
Far
it
From Home had
first.
Mysterio with
Yeah.
Stark Tech. Finally, for the first time in the MCU, we aren't going to get Stark Tech in this movie.
Good.
It's going to be, because he has no one. He's not with anyone, so
Yeah.
he should be tapping into that darker side of not knowing what to do. Because he can't rely on Ned, can't rely on his girlfriend MJ. He's by himself. No one knows who he is. He can't ask for any help. Aunt May is dead.
Yeah.
So you have no one to talk to. Happy doesn't even know who you are. So he's on his own.
I think that the vibe that they should go toward is what, them going like him by himself is actually a really good idea. It's basically like what Toby and Andrew had, where they didn't really have help. Like that's the thing in the comics. I feel like I haven't read enough Spider-Man comics, and I call myself like the greatest Spider-Man fan. I remember you also call yourself that, but basically like. I feel like when Spider-Man doesn't really have outside help, and also it's something that Spider-Man 2 did. This is something that it would maybe be a good idea, maybe not too much brooding over it, but in the comics, Spider-Man hates being Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire explored this concept very well, and not as much as the comics, but I think that should be a storyline. And I know it's one of those things where he'll also probably in this new movie explore the fact nobody remembers me, nobody knows who I am as Spider-Man and stuff like that. That could be a very good idea. And it said it is rumored to be a soft reboot. That's good, honestly. I think, and Tom Holland is playing him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So, and I just looked up Mr. Negative, and I see that you have something up about Mr. Negative. He's a Marvel villain, right?
Yes, a Spider-Man villain. If any of you PlayStation fans or Spider-Man fans have played the first Marvel Spider-Man 2018 on the PS4, he is the main bad guy. And what a great villain.
He's the main bad guy in PS4.
Yes, great villain right there.
Octopus.
Okay, so yes, kind of. He's the final boss, but for the whole game, you're basically fighting Mr. Negative. It was just great. He's this very nice guy, but it's shown that Doc Ock, Otto Octavius, and Norman Osborn tried to fix Mr. Negative when he was a young kid. He can kind of like quote unquote possess people to be evil and stuff, like can control them. He just had them and he let go of it, and it resulted in the death of his parents. So now he in the game is trying to killed Norman Osborn, and of course he doesn't succeed, but it's just hopefully they go that route. I've heard that they're trying to cast a 40 to 50-year-old man as the bad guy for one of the things. Also, we got that Sadie Sink announcement a couple months ago, and still have no idea who she's playing. We went from she could be playing Jean Grey, and they could be announcing the X-Men, but it's a Spider-Man movie. Just wait till then. We also had people saying she could be Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst's daughter, and she could be May Parker. But do we really want another multiversal storyline? But
no.
It sounds like they're not doing that, especially with Punisher, and I don't know why you would bring him into a multiverse.
I hope it's not like a Sidewinder thing. I'm just going to be real with you. I hope it's not like a Sidewinder thing. Where it kind of was like... How did you feel about Sidewinder in Brave New World? Because he was just kind of there. What isn't that kind of how it was? I mean, he felt... you don't remember Sidewinder? It was Giancarlo Esposito. That guy.
Oh, that guy. Yeah,
the guy that's in
yes. He actually had some cool scenes in that movie, and they kind of. That's the thing with that whole movie. They had so many reshoots, so that's probably not even the movie.
That movie actually had some reshoots.
Had so many.
I didn't know
they went through.
That kind of explains why it was just kind of mid. It was in the mid area. Like it's terrible, but it's good at the same time. Like I don't know how to feel completely about it.
As many of you know, F1 released earlier this week, and I saw it on Thursday in
Oh, you saw
IMAX.
Oh.
It was a great movie. I recommend it to anyone. That movie was just, the racing scenes were just beautiful. Sitting there, you're just watching, it's crazy to see what they actually do in real life. It's like, oh my gosh, they have to be that skilled. The movie was just very good, very well shot.
Huh.
Great job by Joseph Kosinski. He also is known for making Top Gun Maverick, great movie. Also made Tron Legacy, great movie. Actually, I don't want to say great. I barely have even watched it. It's okay. But he also made Oblivion. Oblivion's a good movie. Have you seen it?
No.
You need to go home and watch it. It's with Tom Cruise. Good movie. Good movie. And then we also have news about Jurassic World Rebirth is coming out Wednesday, July 2nd.
Yeah.
I got tickets to see that, so I'm going to be seeing that movie. So I think it's going to be good. I've heard mixed reactions. People say it's really good. Other people say it's okay. But we also have news about the new Ryan Gosling movie. The trailer came out today called Project Hail Mary. It's about a middle school teacher, science teacher. He is sent on a mission to find a place because everything else, mostly in the whole solar system, is dying. And they found one planet that is fine, nothing's dying. So they send him to try to find out what's happening. And he goes and he wakes up from a coma and he finds no one's there in the spaceship. He's the only guy there. And he goes and he finds this alien. That's literally what it shows in the trailer, but it comes out in March, so it's a very long ways away from releasing a 3-minute trailer for it, so it's a long way. We also had that news about Vin Diesel saying that in the new Fast and Furious movie that is coming out April 2027, and Paul Walker's character probably will return in the last movie that they're filming. Which I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious movies.
I've seen,
but people love them. But why would you want to take Paul Walker's character after having a great ending with that movie in Fast 7, I believe, with the See You Again song by Wiz Khalifa and Charlie Puth? That great scene of the end when they're driving right next to each other and they look at each other and then they drive different ways. Like, that's a great ending. But you want to bring him...
each other? Oh, yeah, I actually think that was actually CGI.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
You want to bring him back? Like, I just don't understand. Just leave him right where it is. I don't know. So that's basically all that we're hearing right now from the film news, unless, yes, we have to announce that, yes. That the Batman Part 2 has finished the script. They were filming
that's actually
most likely in January.
Oh, wait, what's his name?
It's going to be called The Batman Part 2.
Wow,
that's
James
what we're
Gunn
saying.
hasn't read the Batman 2 script. I'm hoping to read it on the plane, but I might fall asleep. Ouch. That's not a great sign for how confident James Gunn is in the Batman franchise. I think that he should just leave it alone. It should not be part of it. It should be. This sounds crazy because of what was said about Warner Bros. Earlier. Warner Bros. Should make it. And obviously Warner Bros. Is making this. It's like how Disney makes Marvel movies, but this should be primarily Warner Bros. It should not be DC Studios. I think that it should be its own thing. I think it is its own thing. That's great. I think Marvel and DC both, and obviously the movies should be made by Marvel Studios and DC Studios. They should start exploring their Elseworld stuff. Because honestly, I think that that's, instead of making it in the same universe, maybe make it in the same universe, but don't really have them interact. Like, I think that, like, they can interact some, and obviously we saw it back in the day with Avengers. Was it Avengers with the big climax, and people thought, apparently, that Avengers was going to soft reboot after that. But it didn't. Anyways, I was looking at this thing. Superman's forgotten power of super hypnosis is used to explain Glass's secret identity in James Gunn DC.
Oh yeah, the hypnosis.
That's
stuff?
that. I mean, it's from the comics. It sounds completely stupid, but like that, I didn't know that was real.
Yeah, I didn't know that until today.
Superman guy, but like that's crazy. I mean, that's actually a really good That's good, honestly. And also, Fantastic Four First Steps concept art fully reveals the MCU's take on the Baxter Building. Wait, and it's not going to be them standing there talking about how it's fantastic, right, Max?
Say that again.
It's fantastic. I love and hate that movie. Which, no, I just more love that movie, to be honest with you. It's bad, but I mean, it's a good kind of bad.
Oh, and by the way,
Yeah.
Glenn Powell's new movie, The Running Man,
Uh-huh.
the trailer is releasing tomorrow,
Mm.
July 1st. So if anyone wants to see that movie,
Ah.
the trailer is releasing then. So you want to move on into some video game news?
Video games. So, recently I started playing a game called The Finals. I don't know if Max
Okay,
knows
yeah,
what it is.
I've heard of it.
It's fun if you're winning.
Is
Recently,
any game fun when you're winning?
yeah, basically, it's actually pretty fun. So basically, the goal of it is to get these things called cash outs. So basically, you hack into this thing. They're 3-on-3, and it's teams of 3. Actually, no, sorry. There are 3 teams of 3 or 4 teams of 3. I forget. And you all are in a team. You have guns and stuff like that, and you run around and you can obviously kill each other and stuff like that. Deaths don't really matter, but you have to get to this place to get something called a cash out, or like hack something. You take the box, you run all the way to a cash out station, you put it in there, and it takes a really long time to cash out. So you basically have to defend the machine, and you obviously like defend it and like kill people and stuff like that. When you get a cash out, you get like there are like either 3 or 4 opportunities in a round to get cash outs, and you get a certain amount of money, which with each one. And it's actually a very fun game. It's very well made. I don't know if it's going to be the next like Fortnite or something like that, but I mean, it's actually pretty cool. I also started playing Titanfall 2. Did you ever play Titanfall?
Yes, I have played Titanfall.
Did you enjoy it very much?
It was okay. I was okay.
Yeah. Also, did you?
I'm not really a big fan of first-person shooters. I'm more third person.
Oh, so is that why you played Gears of War? I didn't even know it was a third-person shooter going into it. I just played it. It was kind of blindly, and I like saw like screenshots and stuff like that. And then I actually played it. I'm like, oh, it's like Splatoon, but you can't jump, and it's rated M. But also, did you know that the Zelda movies can be live action?
Okay.
Yeah. Who should play Link?
I don't know.
I saw something. It was like, I don't think it was AI casting. Maybe Timothy Chalamet.
Ugh.
I don't know. Is he too like? He's too like.
I don't want. Just pick a no-name actor. Please.
Yeah, that would be a very good idea. Who should play Zelda?
To me, I'm not a big Nintendo fan, so I don't really know.
Ganondorf could be like Javier Bardem or something like that.
He's also in F1. He did a really good job in F1.
Oh, he was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And he played the villain in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. So that could be an excuse to put him as that. I don't know who played Davy Jones. It was just this really good-looking CGI thing anyways.
Yes.
I mean, it apparently they said like that was like the best, like the CGI peaked with Davy Jones. He looked pretty realistic, I guess. Oh, no.
Yes,
I'm
we have
looking
had
I might become a PlayStation
news that
kid over this.
Xbox has, quote-unquote, no desire to make hardware anymore. Founding team member says. Xbox team co-founder Laura Fryer thinks Microsoft is exiting the hardware business.
I mean, it's a thanks thing. Oh, gosh. It's a thanks thing. I really hope it's a thing. I kind of hope. I mean, it'd be cool to become a PlayStation kid because
PlayStation's amazing.
You'd be part of the winning team. But here's my thing. I have always been an Xbox kid. Well, when I got an Xbox One S for Christmas in 2019, it's either 2019 or 2020. I was just an Xbox kid because I'm like, oh, I have an Xbox and stuff like that. And I remember a lot of the kids at church used to be Xbox kids. I remember that. And then like PlayStation became popular, and obviously PlayStation's always been popular. I'd say Xbox's big mistake was the One. The One was the worst mistake because they tried to be like a cable box and Netflix and all these different things, and a DVD player, which obviously video game systems have been DVD players for a while, but they just tried to be too much. And it was also, at the time, less powerful than the PS4. Xbox has always been more powerful and raw power than PlayStation, except for the One. Raw power is great, but popularity definitely
It doesn't. I give a lot of props to PlayStation, and I'm talking too much right now. But I'll give a lot of props to PlayStation. It's like they kind of came into the arena and just automatically won. Like looking back at like 1990 and 1994 actually, when PlayStation released in Japan and then later in the US, they just kind of started winning randomly. I don't know how. Obviously, I see games like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, and all these different games, Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy VII, all these franchises that they just kind of just made great. Like, it's crazy how great PlayStation was able to do. Obviously, the PS2, like the greatest system of all time, like that kind of thing. What do you have to say about it?
I'm definitely a PlayStation guy, so I love PlayStation. So honestly, whatever Xbox is doing doesn't really bother me at all, because everyone should know that PlayStation just is better. Like, just look at their exclusives. To me, it just shows that PlayStation could just easily win this. And you're looking at Xbox, and I feel like Xbox is just shooting themselves in the foot.
Yeah, they like to do that.
Taking, like, like, even with that Outer Worlds 2 release, why are you making it just digital, no physical copy, and it's $80? Are you really kidding me? You're gonna bump up the price of a AAA game from 70 to 80 now, and following Nintendo's footsteps, which was terrible.
Okay, I'll give Nintendo the benefit of the doubt on the fact that the Switch 2, I'm gonna be real with you, is a marvel of hardware. Like that's the thing. And I'll give this to the Switch 2 because obviously it stinks that it's $450. It stinks that games are gonna start being $80 for a digital and $90 for physical if it's like AAA or whatever. But I'll say this, the Switch 2 is a portable console.
Yes.
Like I'll give it that. And I know obviously Xbox is making some new things.
For like $1,000.
It's like $400 to $500.
No.
Is it $500?
That's not even what people are saying.
Okay, that's for the X. For the S.
No.
For the S? Are you mean the ROG?
Yeah, the ROG. They're saying that it could be $1,000.
That's crazy. It shouldn't be that much.
Because if you look at the normal ones, they're like $800.
It's a portable
Yeah, but then
PC.
you have Steam Deck. It's the same thing as $500.
Steam Deck, I think the Steam Deck is actually good because it's basically a portable PC.
Yes.
And you can play Steam stuff.
I'm thinking about getting one
PC
eventually.
is actually very good. But I'll say this about the Xbox is that what was I going to say? I don't know. I just know the Switch 2. Switch 2 is a portable PS4 to PS5. I'll give it that. And I know that game companies are not acting like they don't want to touch Nintendo with a 39-foot pole or whatever the Grinch lyrics were. Because, like, you look, I saw recently, like, on commercials at a time, MLB The Show running on a Nintendo Switch, like the most recent one. It looked so bad. It looked worse than a PS3.
Talk about the Nintendo Switch 2.
It looked worse than a PS3. Like
Madden 26 is going to be releasing on a Nintendo Switch 2, and someone I saw, they said they played it. They said it actually didn't look that bad. So that could actually be a thing.
They're not
but I don't
scared
know.
anymore. Like I think, like even Final Fantasy VII remake, you know, the cynics is that they're not going to put it on Xbox. Like they have it on PS5, PS4, PS5. And they have it on Switch 2. Same thing with, I don't know if you've ever heard of Enter the Gungeon. Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Enter the Gungeon is a game where, like, 4 people that have, like, bad pasts or something like that, like, go into this thing called the Gungeon to kill the past. And it's that's actually kind of a cool plot when you say it. Well, when you say it out loud, it's not that cool. When you read it, it's actually very cool. But the sequel is going to be on Switch 2 and PC. Maybe Nintendo's kind of trying to do like that, like 90s, 2000s kind of thing, where it's gone on forever, but like the console war kind of thing. Like you remember back in the day when like Sega and Nintendo were like literally like trying to kill each other? That was really cool. And basically, PlayStation and Xbox kind of became that, if you think about it. But anyways, back on the Switch 2, it's a marvel of hardware. I really don't like the cost of it, honestly. I don't know if I'll ever get one. Anyways. What do you do?
We also had
Death Stranding.
EA Sports announce a bombshell of breaking news with coming back into the college basketball world of gaming. And then a couple minutes ago, I look on my phone and I see that it sounds like for the first time in so long that we are finally going to get competition from 2K and EA on the same game.
gosh.
It sounds like 2K is looking to make a college basketball game also, so we could be getting 2 college
Wait.
basketball games,
Oh my gosh,
which
I
makes
love
that
that.
they strive to make a better game. Because if you know,
Oh my
you know
gosh, I'm
about
so excited.
PS2 Madden against now Madden. PS2 Madden was very, very good. And to say right now, to me, Madden has been getting better ever since Madden 21. I know there's been some rough years, but I feel like they're finally listening. But it could always be better. Like if we get 2K to be on the market to make another football game, because EA's official license with the NFL to only be able to make the only sim football NFL games
Oh, that's stupid.
is gonna go away next
Good.
year.
Oh my
And
gosh.
it looked like
2K should make one.
so if 2K jumps back into that, then we could really
Did they
be
make
seeing
any football?
yes,
Okay.
and it's regarded as the greatest football game of all time.
That's crazy.
NFL 2K5. If you have a PS2, I recommend it. I've played it. It's very really fun. It's very fun.
Do you still have your PS2?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I really hope so. We could be getting 2 college basketball games, which for me
That's crazy.
is going to be very difficult to pick which one, because we all know EA's basketball games weren't very good. I didn't like the movement. But 2K got great movement, but the microtransactions are way worse than EA has. Like it's
That's crazy.
disgusting.
I thought EA was like the microtransaction.
No,
company.
if you look at 2K, their NBA franchise has so many microtransactions to
It's
get.
like buy coins
It's-
and stuff like that.
It's bad. So
Why can't you just do in-game?
I'm really hoping now with competition, if it's true that, because 2K really posted saying campus has been quiet for too long. That's what 2K said after a guy said 2K should be making the college basketball game. So they replied with the campus has been quiet for too long.
That's
Which,
crazy.
if that's true, because then earlier in the day you get EA Sports announced, bring the madness, let's run it back. Hashtag CBB, hashtag it's in the game. So that could mean that we get
Nice.
2, and oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I know it's very far away, 2028, so that's pretty far away, but hey,
Nice.
can't wait.
Okay, so also I know that we're drifting away from the sports video games thing. I'm going to. You probably don't care about this too much. So Sonic Racing Cross Worlds is releasing. I don't know if you saw any of the trailers for any of the characters that are in it. So we got Hatsune Miku. I don't know if you know who that is. It's like the anime girl, with, like the blue pigtails. She's in it. Sega's made games about her. A guy from Yakuza is going to be in it.
Okay.
SpongeBob
Okay.
is going to be in it. Avatar characters possibly are going to be in it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem characters are going to be in it. Minecraft characters are going to be in it. There's actually like a Minecraft stage, and it has like the dun dun
That actually
dun
sounds
dun
pretty
dun
cool.
dun dun like that.
That-
So basically, apparently, it's actually going to go away from like the 3-lap kind of thing, and they're literally going to be going through different worlds, basically through
Okay,
rings,
so-
and they're going to travel through. That's really
Is
exciting.
this
honestly.
going to be
They're gonna
some competition with Mario Kart? Because we all
I
know
think
other
so.
studios
Yeah.
have tried this, and everyone knows Mario Kart is better.
Garfield cart.
But with how many people are in this game with
Yeah.
characters, that
I
could
think
be
that
one
it might
that
it might
could
be
push.
Sega looking at Nintendo like, yeah, I remember back when we. But I think that this is really funny. That what's it called? Sega said, and it's funny because Nintendo released their games that they might one day want to surpass Mario. What? Marvel Spider-Man Miles
on
Morales.
the
What are they?
Xbox because of the PC thing. Xbox can now unveil the new aggregated gaming library feature, the Xbox PC app, which allows users to see their games from all PC storefronts, including Epic and Steam. As reported by The Verge's Tom Warren, that means PlayStation games like Spider-Man Miles Morales that were ported to PC can also show up in the Xbox app.
That's
This is very
strange.
weird, but hey,
It would be cool if you could
Great
play it on
game.
actual Xbox hardware though, but they'd have to optimize it. I don't know. I mean, like it could. That could be cool. I'm not really that surprised or that crazed out by it. Here's the thing. Obviously, as an Xbox person, I am not traditionally able to play something like Spider-Man. Here's the thing, though. I have Steam at home, so obviously I can get Ultimate Edition and stuff like that.
you should.
However, I'm not. I actually do on my PS3 own.
I own Drake's Fortune. Is that
Great
is,
game.
is that the first one?
Yep.
Drake's Fortune. I own the second one, and I believe I own the third one. I've never played them though.
They're very good.
Apparently,
Play all
they're
day.
very
They're
good.
so
Apparently, but yeah, honestly, I know that PlayStation has better games. I will obviously admit that, even though I'm an Xbox person and I've rooted for Xbox, I'm kind of starting to get tired of them, honestly. Because do you remember the campaign where it's like this is an Xbox, this is and it's going on kind of right now, where it shows a TV, like an LG, whatever, that's able to, it's going to be able to run cloud gaming, like it's going to be able to run Game Pass over cloud. It's like this is an Xbox, it shows a phone. This is an Xbox, it shows a tablet. I hate that. It's horrible marketing because they're getting away from whatever it's called hardware, and they're trying to go to like this cloud thing. And obviously, I know that times change and stuff like that, but I'm just not ready for it. Honestly, I'm not really ready for it. And I know obviously we went from having game consoles with cartridges to being able to play like stuff on cloud now. So how do you feel about that? And obviously, I know Xbox
I
is
don't really
in
mind
the
cloud.
streaming is like in the streaming kind of thing now. I know that PlayStation has PlayStation Plus, but would you say that they're focused less on that?
I don't mind the cloud, but for Xbox, it's okay. Like, I don't really care about Xbox.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, then I'm totally fine with it.
Keep shooting themselves in the foot until PlayStation. Well, I think here's the thing: PlayStation v Xbox, they won it. They've already won it for like 10 years, obviously. And the Xbox Series X, even though the Xbox Series X is very powerful, the PlayStation 5 is just more popular, honestly. And I think like it has some kind of SSID where it just runs better.
So,
That was wow.
thanks for listening to
Yeah.
First Flight's first ever episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you check back on the next episode. See you guys.